Yellow?
Can you talk to your mom?
Yeah, for a second. Yeah.
Difficult with all the
Stuff we can do. There's just so much news out there. You mute. You had me muted. Oh Lord. We got a thing down here in Houston. More than 90 people found inside a Houston home. I think this has something to do with the sex trafficking and stuff that's going on. Into the last ring. So you can mute the video? Okay. No, YouTube ain't down again. It's back up. We're right there. I'm looking at myself. Want to call in? The number's right there. Drizzy posted. Look at that big, beautiful diamond up there. House Republicans call on Senate to vote against Biden's ATF nominee. You can hear me now? Drizzy had me muted. Yeah, Drizzy had me muted. We had to get started again. Drizzy, you can pull up Fox News right now. They're doing that thing on the 90 people found in that home down in Houston. It's Fox News. It's just on Fox News. It says more than 90 people found inside a Houston home. Police is doing a press release right now. Houston. Do Houston. That's it. That's it right there. That's the one. Oh, it's 3 days ago. Why is that just popping up now?
We're coming back at a break early because an hour went by quickly. Here's Houston police on this situation.
And in the process of, we had our tactical operations team, SWAT, go in and execute the search warrant. And when they got inside the house, they realized that this is actually going to turn into a human smuggling investigation. So that part of it will be handled by the HSI investigators that are on scene now. But we do have some of our criminal division representatives here from homicide, major assaults and family victims, special victims division, and vice division. When we got into the house, we realized that there were over 90 people inside.
How many kids?
And so we immediately began to assess any kind of a special threat after that. Once we isolated that, we wanted to make sure we rendered any kind of a medical care. So we had HFD with us. We are concerned that there may be some positive COVID cases inside the house. So we do have our health department en route. They will do some rapid testing for that. So we will keep them in the house for now, and they begin to do their investigation. So that's our first concern. And then at some point, once we figure out how many positive COVID cases we have, we may have to quarantine. And we will turn it over to HSI to do the actual investigative part of it, and we'll assist in any way we can. And that's really all I have right now. I could open up for questions if you have any, as much as I can answer. Well, we are in a pandemic, and we do have some people in the house that are symptomatic, right? So we've already had some people in the house tell us they're not able to smell and not able to taste, and we did have some people with fever. So we've got the health department. They're going to do some rapid testing and kind of take it from there. No, there's no children inside. Youngest is probably early 20s. And as of right now, I think we have approximately 5 females and the rest are males. No, it's closer to 90.
So 85 males and 5 females.
Absolutely not. No, it was a big surprise when we got in the house and saw what we saw.
What are they going up from the beginning for?
When with as far as the homicide? I mean, as far as the kidnapping? Yeah. Last night we were called to a location and given some tips, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But we worked through the night to try to figure out exactly where they were, which led us to this address, and we had some pretty good information that they were here.
www.chapmanfes.com.
Well, you put them all together in a room and in 2 separate parts of the house, upstairs and downstairs. It's a 2-story house. So they basically, are in there in their basic clothing and all huddled together. So that's what we saw when we got in. No, sir. Yes. That's what we believe. Yeah, that's what we believe.
90 people.
Correct. That's what we believe. Correct. We're still trying to work through all that. I'm sorry? We've actually got them some food. We brought them some food and got them some water.
What'd y'all get them? Double cheeseburger. For $1 a piece?
They said they haven't eaten in a while. We're feeding them. We haven't heard anything from any of the neighbors as far as
Catch you later, Frank.
Anything that would lead them to believe that there was something like that going on.
We'll see you, Frank.
Absolutely. We don't know any of that yet. We're working through that. Well, that's what we're working through. We've got to separate who the victims are versus who, as you can imagine, somebody that would be involved with something like this, as soon as they realize we're here, they're probably going to try to become a part of them, right? And so we've got to be able to
let's go to Giuliani.
That's what we're doing now, identifying.
That just popped up on the map. And I'd heard something about a bunch of people being found, but the video I said something about was kids were involved. I didn't know if that was it. Piece of law. Giuliani. Trump's in trouble? Question mark. No. Giuliani criminal probe. Let's play the Giuliani. Because Giuliani apparently was raided by the FBI. Come in and they took his stuff. His phone, computers, laptops. You know what they didn't take? Hunter Biden's hard drives. Why didn't they take the Hunter Biden hard drives? Well, I don't know. There was the subpoena or the warrant said they were supposed to take all electronic devices. They didn't. They left them. Why? Because they already got a copy of them. They already know what's on there. But the thing is Giuliani said, them are the Hunter Biden hard drives, and they said, we don't want them. Now, are you telling me that they believed Giuliani when he says, those are the Hunter, or do they have a big stencil on the top that says Hunter Biden hard drive? Some kind of, maybe a serial number on the side. They said, well, they did. Hold up, this is Hunter's. Let's put this back. We don't want to look at that. We don't want to see that. Or
So
did they
the
just
FBI
take
showed up the
Giuliani's
other
word
morning.
at it? Because Giuliani could have been lying. Them could have been Trump's hard drives with all the Russia stuff on it. Could have had Vladimir Putin's dress size in there somewhere written down, scribbled in there. Could have had pictures of Vladimir Putin in a dress. Something that Trump was using to hold over his head. Said, don't make me leak this information out to the press. And Putin said, don't do that, Trump. I got you. But the New York Post come out and said Giuliani had been informed that he was being investigated. Giuliani said, that's a lie. And they had to retract that story. See, that's another story. What did Nancy Pelosi call it? They call it the smear campaign. They leak a story to the news reports on it, and then they go, see right there? The news reported on it. Well, the news reported on what you told them. Yep, they had to retract their statement on the mayor. That's right. That's right, Kevin. But there's a video of Nancy Pelosi telling how they do this process. It's the wrap up smear campaign. Can you find that, Drizzy? The video of Nancy Pelosi telling. Drizzy's amazing at this over here. Okay. But here we go with Rudy.
Morning at Rudy Giuliani's house. They came in with a warrant and took his electronic devices. He is the third attorney who served former President Donald Trump to get that treatment. Interesting. We talked to the former New York City mayor about it at some length last night.
There was a big bang, bang, bang on the door, and outside were seven FBI agents. I said, well, don't you want these? And they said, what are they? I said, those are Hunter Biden's hard drives. And they said, no. I said, are you sure you don't want them? I mean, the warrant required them to take it. And they said, no. There is no justification for that warrant. It is an illegal, unconstitutional warrant.
So Giuliani said he had no idea the raid was coming. One group who did know it was coming was the Lincoln Project, the Democratic Party campaign group, the guys who covered up for child molestation. You may remember them. They got an early notice from the Justice Department. They're kind of in on it. President of the United States was asked, and he said he had no idea the raid was coming.
Were you aware of that raid before it happened?
I give you my word I was not. I made a pledge.
I give you my word.
I would not interfere in any way, order, or try to stop any investigation the Justice Department had underway. I learned about that last night when the rest of the world learned about it.
So, Juan, the basis of our justice system, of justice itself, is the equal application of it. Laws apply to everyone.
Somebody up there said that they learned about it way back then, too.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We have an amazing show for everybody today. What do we have, Crystal?
Indeed, we do. We've got Ben Burgess on. He's got a new book about political correctness, canceling comedians while the world burns, I think is the title of the book, which is amazing. Amazing title. Can't wait to talk to him about that. Ryan Grimm has some great new reporting. The New York City mayor's race has been turned upside down by allegations of sexual assault against one of the top candidates, Scott Stringer. Ryan has found some inconsistencies in the stories of his accusers, so we're going to get into that. But we wanted to start with a gigantic media failure of epic proportions.
Yeah, this has been in the fallout for a while, and we're waiting. We're like, are these people going to correct it? What exactly is going to happen here? And it's going to shock you to learn that, some modest corrections, but most of the people involved are still either standing by or just ignoring that they got this completely wrong. So let's put this up there on the screen from the Washington Post. The Washington Post, the New York Times, and NBC News all reported last Thursday that the FBI had briefed Rudy Giuliani, President Trump's lawyer at the time, that he was the target of a Russian disinformation campaign during his efforts to dig up information on Joe Biden back in 2019. They said, according to this report, that he had received that briefing, a quote-unquote defensive briefing, and then traveled to Ukraine anyway. The implication being that he knowingly was involved in some Russian disinformation campaign. So all of those stories were independently confirmed by each one.
Now, the thing I heard Giuliani said when he did business deals over there, he had a clause in his contract that said, I will not lobby for any of y'all. And I heard Giuliani say that himself.
Of those outlets. And we've seen this happen time and time again with Russiagate. I have confirmed from this source. I have confirmed. Usually what it is that one source leaks a BS story to one outlet, and then everybody else calls the same guy or the same girl, whomever, and they say, oh yeah, it's totally true. And based on that one thing, then it proliferates, and it gives it the veneer of authenticity of like, well, God, it's not just the Washington Post reporting it, it's the New York Times reporting it, and it's NBC News reporting it, and then it just goes everywhere. And then it turns out this thing is totally and completely false. Also, the best part of this entire Post story, as you were pointing out, is they don't really go into like how exactly, like they're reporting on their own screw up, and they don't really go into like, well, how the hell did we screw it up so badly?
Yeah. So the headline for the piece is how 3 major news organizations, including themselves, all got a story about Rudy Giuliani wrong. Right. I believe the Post were the ones that initially broke the story. And so they go through, this whole long piece without actually revealing how they got it so wrong.
Right.
Glenn Greenwald, however, did the work of explaining how this happens. I mean, this is someone who obviously deeply understands how the media works and what happens here. And like you said, it's exactly the case that Post got fed this line from some CIA or FBI
people
ghoul.
Familiar with the matter.
Right.
Got it.
They bought it hook, line, and sinker, did zero work to check that what this person was feeding them was actually accurate. And remember, these agents, FBI, CIA, all these people, they have their own agenda. So if you're a journalist and you're being fed a line from them, maybe it's true, but you better go and check. You better have some way of knowing independently and not just be taking this person's word for it. So clearly they didn't do that. The Post runs with the story. Then these other media outlets, they feel all kinds of pressure because, oh God, they got this great scoop. We got to go and confirm it. And they drop their own whatever journalistic standards they have to chase the exact same reporting with the idea in mind that this thing is true and we're just going to put the rubber stamp on it and probably get fed the exact same line from the exact same lying actors from, the deep state. And that's how you end up with this situation. I want to be clear. I don't like Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, no one here is standing for
running cover for Rudy
Ukraine
Giuliani.
Or like any,
but the thing is, when you run a story like this and you get it so categorically wrong, guess what? You're the one carrying the water for Rudy Giuliani because the first thing he does and all of his defenders, all of his acolytes is go on to, look, it's all fake news. Rudy's being unfairly persecuted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're giving them all of the ammunition that they need. So if you think you're like standing up against the Trump movement, you're being part of the resistance, you're doing nothing but giving them ammunition to call everything that you report fake news.
And the important part that Glenn points out is this just goes to show how Russiagate not only rotted the brains of journalists, but I think just
the Pelosi one where she explains it. She explains how they do this.
And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident. But I think I'm worth the trouble, quite frankly.
How they do this shit.
Fray. I'm not disrespectful of people's views. I respect any positive things that people want to say, or even negative. as long as it's constructive. But when it's blatantly self-serving and beyond the normal competition that the press so enjoys focusing on, instead of, wouldn't it be better if all the press were focusing on opportunity? I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. She told you exactly what they do, and then people go, "Well, that ain't what they do, Jamie." And I go, "Yeah, that's exactly what." She just told you what they do, and y'all still sit back and go, "Well, the news said this." Three days down the road, they retract it and put a little bitty thing. We go, "Well, it wasn't true," and people glass right over that. Don't see it. It don't get the big media attention that it does. That, oh, the FBI is attacking, going after Giuliani because of Trump. What about Trump? There's one fact I want every American to know. People who are not fully vaccinated can still die every day from COVID-19. Well, guess what, President Biden? People that are vaccinated can die every day. It don't matter if we had COVID in the world or not. People are going to die every day. You can't stop it. Nobody can. Ryan Knight, what? Please. People talk about wasted votes with third-party or independent candidates, but every single time you vote for one of the corporate parties or candidates who say one thing and then do something else, it is a wasted vote. That's why we need new people. Do not vote for anybody else that's been in politics before. Nope. You been in there? Nope. I'm not voting for your ass. What is that? It was a little difficult. Bombshell report claims teachers union pressured the CDC to 5 react. Oh, let's go to that. The 5 react to the CDC being pressured by the teachers union because the teachers didn't want to be teaching. Well, guess what? You don't get a paycheck. How many of them teachers been out bitching about, hey, we're going to go to school and teach kids?
I definitely prefer it this way. I didn't like virtual. You didn't? No. No. Terrible. Sometimes when Miss B was like paying attention to something else, you could eat. If we were like really tired, then we could, take a little nap.
Frustrated students telling President Biden how they feel about remote learning today, but complaints like those are apparently being ignored. Instead, a new report suggests the Biden administration allowed a powerful teachers union to influence school reopening guidelines. Emails first reported by the New York Post show frequent communication between top CDC officials and the American Federation of Teachers. In at least 2 instances, the union offered up language suggestions that were reportedly adopted nearly verbatim into the final text of the document that the CDC put out. Both the CDC and the teachers union say this type of communication is just routine. The union telling Fox News, quote, "The AFT represents 1.7 million educators, healthcare professionals, and public employees who spent the last 14 months serving on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. So naturally, we have been in regular touch with the agency setting policy that affect their work and lives, including the CDC. So there hasn't been a FOIA haul like this since maybe the Hillary Clinton emails that came out during that campaign. Jesse, I'm going to give you permission to make any sort of analogy. I'm assuming that you have one.
I don't, but now I feel like there's this expectation that I need to have an analogy, and I don't want that kind of pressure, Dana. Would you like to repeat it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I do find it funny that the CDC says there was no political interference at the same time smoking documents show political interference, and I'm just wondering if you have to be a liar to work for the government, or...
That's right. No. Cameras flip. Yeah. What is that, Jamie? That's 6. Can you do it the other way? Sure can. Lena, Tom. Barbara. Yeah, we're on YouTube. We're on the unofficial, what is it? Unofficial Chapman? Unofficial JamieChapmanFES.com. Yeah, go to JamieChapmanFES.com, click it, and it'll take you to whatever page we're on. Because we're coming back, baby. We're finna be doing this all the time. Drizzy's talking about we might be doing 2 shows a day. I'm talking about long shows too. 7 or 8 hour shows. Drizzy said we got to put the work in, Jamie. I said, I'm down. I got my work boots on. Well, I ain't got them on there over in the corner. I got them here. Let's get ready. Lana. I said it right. What does that say? Trump. Oh, let's play that. Trump teases 2024. Camera in the corner. Let's go. That's a heel.
Former President Trump is teasing that his supporters will be very happy with his decision on whether to run in the 2024 White House race. Quote, "The answer is I'm absolutely enthused. I look forward to doing an announcement at the right time," Trump told Candace Owens when asked if he plans on launching a 2024 bid. Quote, "As you know, it's very early, but I think people are going to be very, very happy when I make a certain announcement," Trump told Owens.
Can we talk a little bit about Biden and
Biden? What's that? Oh yeah, let's do that right there. Now let's do that about the Chauvin juror. We got a Chauvin juror that claimed he was never part of the Black Lives Matter movement about the protests. Oh, but the jurors at a Black Lives Matters rally wearing a get your knee off our necks t-shirt, despite telling the court he'd never been on a march. Well, did he lie? Well, yeah. If he said he'd never been on a march and then they show pictures of him, that's him right there. But get your knee off my neck. That guy right there on the right. Do you see my son, nephew, Brandon, Renee, Mitchell, and brother? But that guy right there with the get your knee off my necks, Black Lives Matter. And I wonder who let them use Martin Luther King's picture in there. What happened on the Facebook side? Did the Facebook cut off? Did the Facebook Live cut off? Facebook Live cut off, Drizzy. Because I said something about the Black Lives Matter thing. Chauvin. It just cut off. Well, let's see what happened. What's on your mind? Let's see. Let's see what this is what I want to know. I want to know why y'all stopped my thing. Only me. I don't know why it shut off, but it did. Shut us off. Missed the show? Come watch it. Says this live is ended. When is that? That's the 16th of March. March 21st. This was live. It just ended. So they just cut us off on Facebook. Maybe they didn't want us to say anything about the Chauvin juror that lied to the court, said, I've never been a part of that. I'm going to go into this with a clear mind and think about everything, and I will render my verdict on the evidence that's shown to me. Well, you're a liar because you didn't do that. Hey, y'all. All right. So I reckon we're finna wrap this up for today. First one back in a while. We're gonna wrap this up. Well, Drizzy, when's the next time we're gonna do one? Pull up your little pad right there and tell me when the next time we're gonna do one, so I can let everybody know. Drizzy's got a little pad that he pulls up and he writes me stuff and I can read it. Y'all can't see it. Drizzy, you there? It's nice to see you. It's been a long time and just as lovely as you used to be. He's updating the site. 1 second. Hold on. What's I doing? I'm doing fine now. Hope you're doing all right since you left me. It's been so long since I heard that song. Conway Twitty boy, he'll make a woman go weak-kneed. Weak-kneed. He had that big fro too. Him and that painter guy. What was that painter's name? Bob Ross. Bob Ross had that big paint thing. He said, put a little tree right here. Put a little tree. Put a little cloud right here on this side right here. Conway Twitty. Oh, Conway Twitty. Hello, darling. That was it. Conway Twitty and the Family Guy. Yeah. I watched the Family Guy.
And I'm sorry about this whole mess.
You know what, Meg? It's all my fault.
Can we play that?
I never should have dragged you into this anyway. I guess sometimes a father just gets a little overprotective of his daughter, but you gotta know I was only thinking about your happiness.
I know, Dad, and I appreciate it.
The problem now is that these people are expecting a show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just
as lovely as you used to be. What's that, darling? How am I doing? Guess I'm doing all right since I can't sleep and I cry all night to dawn. Oh, that's a man, I'm telling you. Y'all gonna make me start crying here in a minute. Thinking about lost loves and all that good stuff. Catch you later, Rich. We'll see you. All right, we're gonna wrap this up for today. Drizzy never told me when we was gonna do the next show. I don't know. Maybe Friday. What's the day? Day's Tuesday. We got what? Oh yeah, we got Paige is coming back on 7th. What's the date? 4th? What is today's date? That's on 7 right there. Yeah, today's the 4th. Oh yeah, and Saturday we're gaming with subs. We're gaming with subs Saturday at 3 o'clock. Set it on your channel. If you want to jump into a game, we're going to do a private match Saturday at 3 o'clock. Told that to Tristan last night. He said, Jamie, when's Saturday? I said, this weekend. He said, oh, that's good. I don't have school on Saturday. I said, nope. You got all day. He said, when are we going to do it? I said, 3. He said, well, I can't be on until I got to get off at 7. I said, well, damn, that's 4 hours. Oh, that's good then. Yeah. He's 7 years old. He don't know about days of the week, and he knows how to add because I told him that. He said, "Yeah, thank you for telling me. 4 hours." May the 4th be with you, sipping. May the 4th be with you. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. We appreciate all y'all being over here. Thanks for coming over. We're going to the gaming channel, Official Chapman Gaming on YouTube. Check out the channel, JamieChapmanFES.com. That will notify you of everything we're doing and where we'll be at. We'll see y'all later.